So here's the deal. You don't have to believe anything I say. You don't have to agree with anything I say. That's your prerogative. If you want to live in blissful ignorance, that's your problem, not mine. I'm awake. I know what's going on. But you don't have a right. You don't have a right. You don't have a right to defy the facts. The facts are almighty. The facts are all powerful. The facts are more powerful than 1 billion nuclear weapons all put together. It's more powerful than Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and anything that any military could build. The facts. The facts are God. The facts are truth. And the fact is that first of all, there's a lot of misinterpretations. There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of fake news. There's a lot of crazy, crazy upstart, just blatant, all out lies that are being spread to the people. One of them is the thing, this lie that Donald Trump somehow colluded with Russia or colluded with Vladimir Putin. That is the biggest lie the mainstream media could ever tell. They are lying through their teeth. I don't know if the people reporting it understand that this is a lie, where this came from, where this lie came from. I probably know. I know where it comes from. But I'm just saying, I don't know the people who are peddling this actually understand the world. And most people don't understand the world. Most people don't. Most of y'all don't understand the world. I can see that based on some of the comments when I make videos. A lot of people do not understand what is going on. And Donald Trump doesn't understand the world either. And I don't care who I trigger when I say that. He doesn't. Because the actions that he has taken on foreign policy, domestic policy is a different story. He has done a superb job as president on the domestic front, on the home front. Um, Trying to make better trade deals, putting America first economic. This whole putting America first, that's not just a slogan. It's actually a belief. This is an ancient belief. Putting your own country, it's an ancient philosophical type of thing. This is not a joke. This is not something that just comes out of, you know, somebody's brain. It's an actual art. It's called paleoconservatism, putting your nation first. Economic populism, making trade deals which will benefit your workers and will prevent businesses from having the ability to move to other countries where it would be cheaper. You have to prevent that if you're going to make a trade deal. You cannot have a trade deal which will make it easier for businesses to move to a cheaper domain and then ship their goods to sell in the country they come from. You can't do that. You can't do it. No self-respecting person would do that. And that's why I'm an independent, because most mainstream parties actually allow that. Most of them, a lot, all of them except the only party I can think of that probably would not allow that would be the NCA in Canada. But on domestic policy, Trump is pretty good. Foreign policy is no good. That is why I know he's not colluded with Russia, because if he had colluded with Russia, he would in no way try to start war with Iran. No way. He would in no way be cuddling up to the Zionists in Israel and the Saudi Arabian head chopping brutalists in Saudi Arabia. He wouldn't do things like that. He would not. And he's been to Saudi. That was the first place he visited. So he's going after Iran because they're a proud nation and they don't want to share their resources with anybody in America. Or I should say, they don't want American companies to take advantage of their natural resources. But he's cozied up to Iran, which is a brutal, vicious, out of control. It is the number one sponsor of terrorism. The people of Saudi Arabia, they would want nothing more than to have Islam rule the world. All you white folk down in all, wherever you are, up in, Alabama, West Virginia, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Kentucky, anywhere. White folk, these white folk who don't like Muslim or who don't like Islam or whatever. You all, I mean, if I mean Iran, you should be praising Iran because what Iran wants to do is keep its people within its country. They don't want their people to be moving all over the place. That's what Gaddafi wanted for his people. That's what Saddam Hussein wanted. They wanted their people to stay in their country. You move to America and then take your brain power with you? No. Saudi Arabia is different, though. Saudi Arabia, the monarchy, the people who rule Saudi Arabia don't give a damn about their country. What they want is money and power. And what they want is their people they actually encourage their people to expand throughout the world, invest in the world, and if they don't have the money to invest in the world, cause trouble in the world. I mean, they in many cases they fund their young people to just go off and do their thing. Now, I'm not saying all Saudis are bad, but that the Saudi monarchy, that's what they want. That's exactly what they want. Give me a break. That's why they want to destroy Iran. And that's why they're cozying up to Israel to do it. The great Satan, according to them. And I agree with them on that. But, that's why they're doing it. Now, if Donald Trump had been with Putin, he would tell him all this stuff because Vladimir Putin, whatever you want to say about him, he knows what's up. I mean, I have been listening to Putin for a while now, and I'm not saying that he's perfect because, again, Russia is a very sneaky country. And Putin was also a KGB member, and he was a member of the communists. Now, I'm sure he had to do it. He had no choice. That was a one-party state back in those days, Soviet Union. Communism is not a good thing. It is a wicked, evil thing. It is actually a globalist creation, New World Order type of creation. Thank God the Soviet Union lost, but Putin, if you watch RT, Russia Today television, you listen to Putin, you listen to what the Russians are fighting towards or what they believe in, you notice that they talk about things such as nation building and globalism. They'll talk about how the European Union is no good. They'll talk about it. Now, the question is, are they trying to just say, well, we don't want this stuff because we want to dominate the world ourselves? That's the part I don't seem to get yet. Russia could be playing a game where they could say, we don't like these Western people doing what they're doing because they're going to take the world over. We want to do that. That could very well be true. But for the time being, patriots, you have to understand that the problem is not Donald Trump colluding with Russia. The problem is that he's not colluding with Russia. He's not colluding with Russia. And even if Russia wanted to take over the world, America could tear them up into America. I mean, the world would probably end. The world would probably be over. But Russia would, and Russia doesn't want that. I mean, that's the reason why there's never been a nuclear war yet. I mean, Russia does not want, the Russians don't want a complete catastrophe, a global destruction, and neither do all the Americans. But the thing is that the Russians and Putin and his people, they ironically are on the side, on many issues, they're on the side of freedom, they're on the side of anti-globalism, they're on the side of monetary reform, no cryptocurrency, no fiat currency, a gold standard. They talk about that stuff. They're people who are associated or who have been accused of being associated with Russia. That's the stuff they talk about. And Donald Trump, what's he doing? He's put more sanctions on Russia. He has snubbed Russia. He has allowed Robert Mueller to spend millions of American tax dollars investigating something that has not happened. Donald Trump has not colluded in any way with Russia. Now, what Donald Trump has done is he has listened to Putin And he has understood that, Putin may have a point on certain things. I don't think Trump is a bad guy. That's why I actually support him. I think he understands that Putin has a good point, but he's afraid to get too close to Putin because he's afraid of Mueller. He's afraid of the Democrats. He's afraid of the media. He's afraid. He is afraid. And don't tell me he's anything else. He's afraid. So he gets, but then the problem with Trump is that not only is he afraid, but he's also a little ignorant about world affairs. He thinks that Saudi Arabia can be tamed and they can be our allies. He thinks that spending billions of dollars to protect Israel at all costs is a good thing. And he thinks that being so close with Israel will be positive for America. That's what he thinks. He does not know what we all know, that no, these things are not good, they are counterproductive, and they're actually against everything he really believes deep down in his soul. Because the brother, Donald Trump, I know for a fact, is no neocon. I just think he's a little confused about who is good and who is bad. And I used to be too. 100%. Oh yeah, I did. Some of the older videos I made, I sounded like a little neocon brat. Israel, they are our closest ally, and because they're the only country not populated by brown people, we must protect. Stupid thing. The world is not like that. The world is very complicated, and Putin knows this. Putin knows it. I think Donald Trump should get close to Putin. Now, here's my appeal to Mr. Trump. Donald Trump, you need to grow some balls, man. Stop being afraid of Mueller. Stop being real balls. Not those fake balls that you have, which are only good for, trash talking people on Twitter and, verbally assaulting a bunch of unimportant people all the time. Not those. I mean, real. You want to really look tough, Donald Trump? You want to really look brave? You want to really look bold? You want to really look badass? Here's what you do. You fire Mueller. Tell him you ain't going to investigate nothing anymore. You're done. You investigated for 3 years. You found nothing on me. You ain't going to find anything on me. You're out of here. Get the hell out of here. You're done. Go investigate Hillary. You tell Mueller to go investigate Hillary. But you fire him. You are no longer investigating, and he can do it too. You fire him. Throw him in the Potomac River too. Throw him in the Potomac River. That's for one. Fire Robert Mueller. The media would tear you up, but you know what? That's badass. Number two, defy the media. Defy the neocons. They all have Russophobia. Defy them. Throw them in the garbage. Tell them to shut the hell up. Shut up. I ain't listening to you. I'm going to go talk to Putin. And then what you do is you call Putin and you say, look, Putin, I'm not fully trustworthy, but I'm willing to listen to you. Explain to me, Putin, who are the real enemies of the world? Who are the real enemies of humanity? Let Putin explain. Let him explain. Let him give you all the facts. Let him give you all the documents. Let him give you everything that he has been explaining to people who will listen with facts, with good, superior logic. Let him do it. And then you, Donald Trump, put all the pieces together and make that decision. You've had the Russophobia, neocon, Zionist, Saudi Arabian, war hawks, or I should say war chicken hawks, chirping in your ear for a time and a day. Let Putin chirp in the other ear. And you decide for yourself who is right and who is wrong. I guarantee you which outcome you're going to come to. Now, this is not anti-patriotism. This is pro-patriotism. This is pro-patriotism. Being non-interventionist is pro-patriotism. Protecting your border and protecting your economy is pro-patriotism. Stopping the globalists is pro-patriotism. A gold standard instead of cryptocurrency is pro-patriotism. And I guarantee you America would be really great again. And you'll thank Arana Nation for telling you to do that. This is the Arana Nation.